Failure is not an option. Mediocrity is not an option. We're all playing for the ultimate success. My name is Dawn Whaley, and I have a unique title called Co-President. I have been with Sharecare since we came up with the concept in mid-2008. And the original idea of Sharecare really spawned from some conversations with Dr. Oz. Dr. Oz was about to launch his television show, season 1, and he realized that having a show on an hour a day wasn't enough to truly help people transform their health, and that he wanted to have a web platform that could be 24/7, a resource for individuals. And so we were introduced to Dr. Oz, and through that brainstorming process came up with this concept of Sharecare, which is a social network for health and wellness. I was with an agency in the 90s, and it was started by a woman. Her name was Pam Alexander. She was starting an agency in Atlanta, Georgia that was focused on the tech sector. There was about 4 of us working out of her house. In a short form, we had about 30 of us working out of an office in Atlanta. And then it quickly expanded first to San Francisco, then to San Jose, then to about 8 other cities throughout the United States. And because I started that so young and we were such a high growth company, I was empowered from a management perspective really early on. And so I was like 23, 24 years old, and I think by then I had 15 direct reports, and by 26 I had basically about 85 people underneath me on the corporate umbrella. I think I associated leadership a little bit more with dictatorship, and it was kind of like it was a high volume, high speed intensity that I felt like I was the one that was looked upon to have the decisions, and I had to make the decisions, and my decision was the only decision, and we had to make them, and everybody had to buy into it, and that was that. And I think as you fast forward 10, 12 years later, and all the other companies that I've been involved with along the way, I think that I've gotten a much better appreciation that a leader or a manager needs to be able to make ultimately the decision, but it's a lot better decision, 1, if they get the collective input from the group in which they're working, and 2, they get everybody's buy-in. And when everybody feels like it's their decision too, or at least they were part of it, I feel like you get much better traction and much better results. I think you get the respect of the individuals that you work with when you're in kind of an executive role, when they know you know what you're talking about, and they see you read every report, and they see you take seriously the work that they're doing. And I think by setting that example, like come to the meeting and know what you're talking about, the collaboration process is so much more productive, right? So nobody's blowing hot air, because everyone knows that at the end of the day, if we start to talk about things that maybe are perceptions and not reality, I'm going to call it out because I've done my homework and I'm sitting in that meeting. So you create this higher responsibility, self-responsibility for those individuals to collaborate successfully in that discussion. And when you set that standard in an organization, it permeates beyond the meetings that you participate in.